Craig, can you mute? Thank you. Okay, I hope that's a little bit better. But today's a special day. We're doing a little bit something different for praise. We need to have praise be especially descriptive because we're going to change praise to be anonymous when people are quantifying. So if there's not enough description, just saying, "Hey, this person is awesome," praise. It's not gonna make any sense, you know. So make a special effort today to be descriptive and maybe praise fewer people but higher quality praise. And also, we're going to start this pattern of avoiding things that can be quantified, like Twitter and coming to meetings and what's the other one? Source cred, GitHub stuff. So that's kind of the big effort. Okay, so I'll kick us off and we'll see how it goes. I want to praise Zep. Are we ready?
Yeah.
I want to praise Tam, Chewy, Zeptimus, and Wonka for being amazing working group leads and putting together an initial rough draft for their funding, for their proposals, for the working groups. Incredible work, and it looks really interesting, blazing a trail for everyone. I want to praise Vitor for the project management that he's been doing and the back-end work of the Commons Design Dashboard. He's really been the linchpin that makes the thing work. Along with Mitch, of course, I want to praise Mitch for rocking the product management of the dashboard and being so responsive to GitHub issues. I want to praise Nuggin for the big back-end push on the ABC that he put in this week and for the dashboard. And I want to praise Fabio and Pedro for their amazing push this week on the front-end work. And I want to praise Rochelle for helping out push out all the payments for everybody. And I want to praise Nate for all his words of wisdom in our calls and being willing to take a contradictory position when it's needed. And I'll pass it to Chewy.
Thanks, Griff. I wasn't done yet. I'll just write them later. I want to praise Sam for our weekly syncs and how much I learned from them. And I want to praise Christopher, Levy, Mateo for leading the reward system conversation. And I want to also praise. Never mind. I'll just write them later. I'll pass it to Eduardo.
You have me also without finishing them. So I will dish praise to Rohik Benitez for the Nitro update to the Discord server. Thank you so much for that. I want to dish praise to Aloysius for her contributions and helping onboarding people to the Discord server and helping guiding them. I want to dish praise to LDS for one-on-one thing that we had just today. I want to dish praise actually to MS. Welcome to your first community call. Thank you so much for coming. I want to dish praise to Tam for the work on the work helping with Comunitas. I want to dish praise to Durgaras and Nate for their back-end work. I want to dish praise also to Goose. Welcome to also first community call. I see you around. And that will be all. And I will pass it on to Nate.
Thanks, Eduardo. I want to praise 5IV and Tam for all the help with the boardroom stuff. It's really awesome, making progress there. I want to praise Chewy for all the work you're doing in comms. There's a lot going on in comms right now, including the DAO. I want to praise Anna Marie for helping facilitate with the Graviton session. I want to praise Wonka for putting all the Graviton curriculum together. And I want to praise Eduardo for all the work you've been doing in the new Comunitas working group. You've been an amazing steward. And I will pass it on to Ryder.
I'm not here. I'm just not prepared to give a bunch of praise. It's nice to be here. Praise everyone for being so available with their praise and ready to give it away. And I'll pass to Nate. MS, have you gone yet?
I haven't. Thanks though. So I definitely want to praise Griff. I want to praise Tam. I want to praise Eduardo. Everybody that I've interacted with for just being so welcoming over kind of like, I think it's officially maybe a week. I've just been poking around the community. And then there's a couple individuals I have to just put together the list elsewhere, but for help with different things, with either being asked to do stuff in the community or just all the stuff going on. And then I will pass it to LP.
Hey, I think I understand what's happening here. This is my first ever community call. So let me know if there's anything other than verbally praising people that I need to do. But I'd love to praise Aloysius for the help that they've given me just one-on-one, kind of luring me into this community and letting me kind of like take off. And then when I get a little bit confused, helping me out. And I definitely want to praise Eduardo for the really welcoming and connected one-on-one that we had, where we just talked about our backgrounds and talked about our projects and got to like form some bonds, which is always really important. Check.
Oh, and then we pass it to a
Right.
person that's it.
Gus, have you gone yet?
Hey Gus, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me turn on my video. Hello there, this is Gus. This is my first community call ever, so I'm gonna be short. I'm gonna praise Eduardo for leading an amazing onboarding team meeting yesterday, and I want to praise also Griff for letting me know about the work that you guys are doing with the dashboard, in which I will be willing to support in the user testing phase if there is still some room there for that. And I'm not sure who's not talk already, so I'm gonna be a little bit random and pass it to Santi. If you haven't passed it.
Thank you, Gus. I think I've talked to you on Discord before about the DAO school that you guys have.
Yeah, I wasn't that random, Santi.
Thank you. I want to praise Ivy for all the work she does together with Zeptimus on the transparency group, and for also taking care of those swags that she's contacting to everyone. I also want to praise to Tam for all the work she's doing leading the Stewards group. Juan Carlos for the amazing gravity training. Nagan for his comments on the legal terms and condition augmented banding curve comments that he left, and Chui for leading communication, and of course Griff for leading the whole group. And I'll pass it to Craig.
Yeah, hey Santi. Let's see, I'll dish praise to Eduardo and Huga and Tam for all their work kicking off the Comunitas working group. Awesome. And then likewise to Aloysius and LBS for providing some pretty valuable insights during one of those calls and hitting the ground running there. And I'll pass it to Wonka.
Thanks, Greg. I would like to praise Septi for leading today's MBC book club about communication that blocks compassion. I'd like to praise Nate and Anna Marie for they leading and facilitating the Graviton training of this week. To Aloysius and Ryder for helping to deliver the POAPs and for getting in the community really, really great and collaborating a lot. For David and Acid Laser, because they have collaborating a lot to promote the Graviton training. To Ivy also for her help in a lot of logistics. To Ivy and Christopher for the rewards, and Mateo and Tam for participating in Gravity, as well as Durgadas and Griff. Sorry for my exceed, and I will pass to Acid Laser.
Thanks, Juanca. So I would like to praise Livia for considering me to help in the decision-making guide visuals, and Juanca for the good way he's leading the Graviton training. Ivy and David for keeping all the Twitter process on fleek, Chewy for his great leading at comms, and I pass it to Septi.
Yeah, thanks, Acid Laser. I want to dispraise to Griff, Nagen, Mitch, and David for engaging on the treasury management post. I want to dispraise to Ivy for all the hack sessions we did that week on operating the audit. I want to dispraise to Edo and Tam for taking on Comunitas when Katie had to leave. I want to dispraise to Livy for the price rules she's drafting, and also Christopher for the reward system product management. I want to dispraise to Juan for coordinating the MVC book club. Nate for the post he put yesterday on how to grade the community call, and Chui for leading the efforts on how the reward comes contributors, and Aloysius for all the contributions she's doing lately on the forum. She's very active. And I'll pass it to Vitor.
Yeah, I want to praise the whole Params team. So Pedro, Fabio, Negan, Mitch, Griff, and everyone that helps to make it possible, especially like now in the final sprint. So for all the like validation, issue creation work, so Manu as well, and everyone that that's making like creating new issues and reporting feedback. So everyone that's helping that you have the best dashboard possible. So yeah, I think that's it, and I'll pass to Santi.
Santi already went. I'll throw it to Eduardo. Oh, yeah.
He went to.
So I pass it on to Libby.
Oh. I want to praise Tim and Lauren and So Sister and Angela, Ivy, Letty, Ryder, Aloysius, Gamma, Meta Verde, Anna Marie, and Katie for the support I feel in their presence and for making this a safe space for women and non-binary to express themselves freely in our community. And I'll pass to... Did everybody go? Oh, Tim.
I'll take it. Yeah. So I'd like to praise Rohit Comunitas for surprising the TEC community with a nitro boost on our server. It was a very generous and kind move. I'd like to praise the 12 newcomers who joined orientation this week. Relative newcomers, some very, and some relative newcomers: Denada, MS, LBS, Cider, Hana Jojo, Jugad, Batia, Gus, Bubble Youngs, Gus, Christian.dll, and Merkel. I'd like to praise Aloysius for bringing so many new people into our community. I'd like to praise LBS for their presence and deep insight intuition about community building. I've started reading their pieces on Source Code Forum, and so much of it resonates very strongly with me. I'd like to praise Nick for the attention and to detail she put in her proposal for the membership dashboard and all of the contributions. I'd like to praise 5IV for his ingenuity and assistance in so many areas. And I'll pass back to you, Griff.
Perfect. And I'll throw it to Aloysius. Aloysius, are you there? Okay, then I'll throw it to Jugad. Oh no, Jugad left. I'll throw it to David.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoons, wherever you may be. That's a wild wind howling in Griff's background there. I missed the question, but on my playlist this week,
it's praise.
Oh, thanks there, Griff. I want to praise Nate, Suits, and Mount Manu for their attention to comms infrastructure and potential upgrades there. I want to praise Aloysius for being just a prolific and constant Twitter voice. Thank you so much for all your contributions there. I want to praise Gus because I love your beard, Gus. I want to praise Chewy for being a fabulous leader in the comms group, right along with praising Ivy for that as well. Enough said there. Acid Laser, praise for the graphics, and I want to praise Wonka for his gravitons. Thanks.
back to you, Griff. Sorry for being late.
No worries, you're always right on time. Aloysius, are you there? Do you want to dish any praise?
I do. Thank you. I want to dish praise to Libby for all of this stuff that I get to read in the channels. I really appreciate some of the posts that I get to read and cross-pollinate here. I want to praise Juan for all of his work with the gravity stuff. I'm digging this training. It's pretty awesome. I want to dish praise to my community members from my home community, Ryder and LB, for all that they do here, there, everywhere. They're my homies. And I want to praise Receptimus for all of their mentorship. I see a lot of mentorship in the channels, guys. I really like it. Yeah, that's my praise. Thanks.
Perfect, and I can pass it for you. Chugad, welcome back. Do you have any praise to dish?
Yes, thank you, Griff. As always, going to praise the community for all their enthusiasm during these calls, and YGG to get me on here, get me connected to the community, and yeah, pretty much it. Is there anyone that's left, Griff, or?
Only one person, and I don't know if Keith knows how we dish praise here, but Keith, so you feel free to dish some verbal praise to anybody who you know in this community that has done some good work this week.
Heath, you seem unmuted, but we cannot hear you. Now.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened this week, but I can dish a praise to everyone for being an awesome community.
Awesome. Thanks, Keith, and thanks for coming, man. Good to see you. And it looks like Roic Benitez just came in. Sorry for probably butchering your name, but nice to meet you. Do you have any praise to dish to anyone in the community this week?
Hello. I don't speak English.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Was that David?
Nothing.
Okay, I'm just gonna power through. I gotta share screen. Well, thank you all for the great praise. We are at a special community call 52. I was looking it up. It's actually not the year anniversary. We just had a couple extra bonus community calls. So we have a couple weeks before our 1 year anniversary of running these community calls. But hey, welcome to the 52nd call. If you guys loved praise like I do, we're switching praise up a little bit. We dish praise in this call, but you can always dish praise in any channel in Discord, especially the praise channel. You can dish, just if you don't have praise powers yet, feel free to ask me or anybody else who's a steward. They can dish you praise powers. And you can dish praise all the time whenever you see anything going on that you like, that someone deserves to be recognized for. Feel free to shout them some love. But ideally, because we're building a new praise system that will probably anonymize the praise, the person receiving praise, you really want to make it good quality praise. So just be descriptive and help out those quantifiers so that they can know what's happening and have a good reason to give some points. Also, hey, remember, we have $1.5 million sitting in our coffers. How cool is that? And we'll be launching the economy to play with it real soon. And we'll be designing it super soon. That's the real fun stuff that we'll talk about later. But also, this is your weekly reminder that if you see any awkwardness in the community, you see anything that can improve, you see some relationship that could be better, or it's just someone got someone else's name wrong, feel free to report it using our gravity type form every time. And also remember to use advice process. Anytime you have to make a big decision, talk to the experts, talk to the people that will be affected before making the decision, and that just makes everything easier and makes it easier for you to make a good decision. Also, I'm going to skip this week, our mission, but check out the MVV. I love Tam's comment in the Stewards working group that as community stewards, is our job to be the super spreaders of the mission and vision. Ryder, do you want to jump in?
Hi, I have two things. One, I'm wondering if anyone else has mentioned that it sounds like there's a waterfall behind Griff. Okay, that's already been addressed. Okay, just checking. It's okay, baby. We still want to hear from you. And the other thing is, I had to run to use the bathroom, and I overheard that we can use praise in any channel now or something. Or is there somewhere I can read about that so I can read up on it, since I might have didn't hear everything you said, or will you repeat it?
Yeah, you know, I'll let Livia talk about praise in SoftGov when she gets to that working group, and then she'll probably be able to say it better than I can. But we'll keep going with the flow. I'm really sorry about the rain. I'm in a house with a tin roof, and it's raining really loud. But it comes and goes. It comes and goes. So thank you guys for bearing with me. And actually, it is time to jump into the working group section. And please try to keep it quick, so we have time for spotlights, and we have time for the awesome Params walkthrough. That will be super cool for the dashboard. But thank you, the Steward of Stewards. Tam, please take it away.
So here we are in the middle of sprint number 19. For this board. So you can click on the link to jump into our sprint board. Why don't I just share my screen now as well? Whoops, wrong one. Okay. So the Miro board has our timeline for the TEC. The ZenHub board shows everything that we're working on in ZenHub. Everyone can hop in and make your own issue or reply to some of the issues. If you clear the sprint, then you see everything that has all the new issues that have been added. So feel free to, if you see something in the community that you want to address, or something that you think needs to be done, hop on and make an issue. We have a bunch of meetings. Every Wednesday is our weekly meeting. Every other Thursday is either a sprint review or a stewards council, and every other Friday is sprint planning. All the meetings are open, so anyone can join. And if you'll go to the next slide. Okay, and on the next slide, as Griff said, the stewards are the super spreaders of the TEC mission, vision, and values. And in honor of that sentiment, I've added our mission here. I'm not going to read it, but feel free to read along. The MVV is also linked below, and it's in our Git book if you want to jump on and read that. There's also links to the visual explainers that are higher res than what's in this slide. And of course, a link to advice process on the forum. Community dialogue, participation, and engagement will make or break a community. So please do participate and share your points of view, your thoughts, and your experiences. So the Stewards Council was today, and what we looked at today were two things. Stewards offboarding, so graceful exits from taking the role of a steward, and when stewards are no longer active, having a graceful way to exit from this role. And working group funding for the different working groups to get an idea of how much the initial proposal to the DAO will be for the working groups, so we can continue funding the contributors that are contributing now. And what's on our mind in our stewards call this week, we talked about the initial buy for TEC tokens. Actually, we just put a date in the calendar for tomorrow so that we could debate and hopefully even draft a proposal for the TEC buying its own tokens to then use as for purposes to be defined. We talked about Snapshot and how we actually had a spam in our Snapshot and solutions for that. And as well, a proposal that was posted, which has merit, but isn't exactly clear enough for a yes vote to have any significant impact. The Params ask for help testing the Learn modules of the dashboard, and if you can help with testing a module on the dashboard, please drop a message in the Params channel. We also talked about how to be better praisers and why it matters. Griff already talked about it. I think Livia will too, so I won't. And the call for help, oh my God, was the call answered. The Comunitas meeting on Monday was so electric. I feel like I left that meeting with the highs and a lot of real hope and inspiration for the Comunitas working group and the power that we can have with all of the new people who have joined and the people who've been continuing to move it forward. And so I have another call for help. The reward system project is looking for an experienced front-end dev that can take a lead role in building a React-based front end. So if you or you know someone who can do that, reach out to Christopher or drop a message in the reward system channel. And with that, I'll pass to Santi in legal.
Thank you, Tam. At legal, we are focused on the terms and conditions for the augmented bonding curve. We've been working on that for the past spring and sprint, and we hopefully will be ending during this sprint. We've had several comments from some of you guys, like Nagan, and Sean and I are just ending the document. I encourage you to take a look at it. Initially, there was a little confusion because I created another document, but that's been fixed with the help of Tam on GitHub issue, and also there is a big red sign on the old one showing you that that's not the correct one. If you want to get the correct one, you got to check the agenda or the link on GitHub issue. So I encourage you to take a look at it, pose your questions if you have any, or add your comments, and hopefully we should be having that document ready by the end of this sprint. We meet on Fridays, 4 p.m., not this Friday, every other Friday, so it's not tomorrow, it's next week, 4 p.m. Central European time. So I encourage you to join us if you want to get a feeling of what's going to be the terms and conditions for the working and operating with the bonding curve once it's up and running. And with that, I'll pass it to Juan Carlos.
Thanks, Santi. Well, as many of you know, the Graviton training is going, and the fourth session will be next Tuesday, and we will have an NBC Nonviolent Communication workshop led by Didan. But also we are complementing the Graviton training with the book club that is right after this call in the DAO Book Club server. And today we will be reading chapter number 2, communication that blocks compassion. So that's really important after this call. And it's a great book. Also, we are now using and moving to ZenHub to coordinate issues in Gravity, and you can request support either by the type form, using the type form, or approaching to any of the Gravitons, or to me personally, or anyone that you feel that can help you in the community. And we are here to support each other. The last thing I want to say is that we are having the TEC lounges on Fridays, and the idea of this space is to have some talks about non-related to work things, and have a space to chill out and maybe to share with and to enjoy the diversity of the community. And with that, I'll pass to SoftGov with Livy.
Thanks, Juan. So in SoftGov, we have the reward systems that is almost like another working group that has a whole streamline of things happening that is led by Christopher, who is the product owner of this process that is transforming praise into a product, and also creating a comprehensive reward systems that will have source cred combined, and hopefully we'll have a way to really value all of the contributions that come to the community. So in the slide, you can see there's the outline of the reward systems process that Mitch and I worked on it, and then Mitch put like a ton of hours of work to make this a beautiful document that it's very easy to understand. So please go there and take a read. That should have most of our process for from now until the next quantification. I know it's a little bit of anxiety for everyone because like, oh, where's all that praise going? Well, we're working on it. It's gonna go to a beautiful place. It's gonna be quantified, and we'll have a good process that is not gonna be overwhelming for anyone. So the next thing we're looking at is discussing the rules of praise, and that is mostly so answering Ryder's question and expanding a little bit on what Griff was talking about, having, when we talk about subjective and objective praise, what does that mean? Like subjective sometimes becomes this very abstract word. I'm working on putting some definitions down and on looking on some of our praise and providing examples so it's easy for people to understand what to praise, what not to praise, because it's already being rewarded by SourceCred or other systems. And what are the ways we should dish praise? Like how should praise be formulated? Should we have emojis in it? Would emojis would emojis change the quantifier's mind? Like, would you quantify something more because it has an emoji or not? So looking into all of the psychology of this multiple things that are there when you're dealing with subjectivity, we're trying to make the rules of praise so it gets easy for everyone to dish and quantify and be rewarded. And next thing is Nate has been working on Boardroom with Nate and Tim. And Nate, if you want to share something about that, feel free. Maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah, so Boardroom is a great front-end interface for our governance and treasury management solutions. So right now we're trying to incorporate our snapshot as well as our proposals section in our discourse. And it will have a calendar as well, so we can have a kind of a one-stop shop for all of our discussion around proposals and our decision-making, and keep track of like how votes are tallied. So it's a really cool initiative. So if you're interested in helping out, please let me know. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you. And just to close out, the reason why I put the snapshot link there is just to show what Tim was speaking about, that there is, so this last one that is closed, and then the one on top that is kind of spammy. I know it's very tempting to just like post a proposal on Snapshot because it will have the attention of everyone and everybody likes attention. But it would be a much better process to post in the forum so people can actually like give their opinions about it. Like that DAO market proposal, a lot of people were like, oh, this is cool. Or I don't know, like had many things to say. So the forum and advice process is always the best place to start when you have a proposal, when you want to hear from the community. And then Griff posted in the forum, and it's not his proposal, but anyone can comment in there and give opinions about what you think about this, and maybe this will turn to be a real proposal in the future. And with that, I'll pass to transparency.
Thanks, Libby. Yeah, on transparency, we meet every 2 Mondays. So next Monday we have a transparency call, and I would love if we get a lot of people there in the next call, because we work with Ivy during this week talking about updating the audit, and we are planning on making a big audit, just like a transparency report on the whole community. But in the case some working group would need some specific audit, if some working group is not having enough transparency, so the community is not voting on them even if they are working hard, we could help them to do a working group audit. But the idea is not to audit every working group, but make a big one. And on this big audit, we are going to discuss a lot of things. We would like to report, for example, we could also report this address sell this amount of token, or see how rankings and stuff. And maybe we don't want to do that, so that's why it's important you guys come so we can draft what we want to report in this audit. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I'll pass it to Omega.
Yes, so hello, thank you, Septi. We started weekly. That's news, just a reminder again. You'll find the group every week, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. CET, because there's lots of insight to work through. So last time, basically, we had an impromptu working session on dilemmas and practical situations, or basically situations that are coming from the practice, and basically you have existing best practices how to handle, software architecture decisions, but you get into situations where things become super complex, right? Especially like in the early days. It's becoming better now, but in the early days it was like, okay, we have a token, we have to distribute it somehow, and it might turn into token sale engineering. But on the other hand, you basically know, actually we're in this for trust minimization. Community first is something that people are grasping now, because the humans aren't going away. On the contrary, they shall have more time to build relationships and have all of the other financial features just work, and all of the other, scheduling features just work. So, and then basically concentrate on how, as a token engineer, you can make sure to add all of these value attributes and functions into token contracts. So kind of creating these or capturing the situations people know, and then go into how should we handle those situations. Next call is going to be next Wednesday. And then finally, we'll have Manu, presenting one of those decision-making frameworks that is capabilities approach, functions, and opportunity for freedom. So that's going to be quite interesting, how that can help make proper decisions, transparent and insane decisions in those dilemma situations. The dilemmas are, there's just no right and wrong. It's just a very difficult decision. So that's it. Hope we see most of you next week as well. And with that, we go to Comunitas.
Thank you.
Or Eduardo.
Thank you so much. So, Comunitas, we have 3 main calls. We have our weekly sync on Mondays, 8 p.m. CET. We have our orientation call Wednesday, 6 p.m. And then we have the TEC lounge, as Juanca mentioned, Fridays, 5 p.m. If we can go to the next screen. Basically, if you see the 2 photos below the screenshots, it's a huge amount of people who join this week orientation, and this week the working group weekly sync. It's amazing. Thank you everyone who join and participate and contribute to these calls. In updates, we basically have a new time. We used to have the timing of the call on Tuesdays, but we move it, and now they are Mondays 8 p.m. So everyone that lives in the East Coast, EST time zone, you are welcome to join. Sorry, that struggle with that word all the time. And then on this week, we work on the onboarding journey. We took around 45 minutes to talk about the struggles, advantages, how do we deal with the onboarding journey that is clear for everyone. And we are open for feedback. So if everyone or anyone on this call had any struggle or had any example of a good onboarding journey, please DM me or send me a message or share it publicly if you will. Or Tam or me are available to receive this information. If you saw something on the onboarding journey that you will suggest a change or whatsoever, please join the conversation. We are improving this process and making it clear for everyone. Next one, we also update to the forum. We didn't exist on the forum. We now exist on the forum as a working group. You are welcome to take a look at our description on the forum. We are on the process. Thank you to Christopher to also be part of the website as Comunitas working group. So coming soon to your screen, we will be on the website too. We are working also in the welcoming bot. Thank you and praise to ViViV for his efforts on leading this and creating a nice process for a bot. Sort of helps everyone in the onboarding journey, and we are getting there. And then also, if you receive a message from Manu for user testing, it's not exactly, that's ViViV. If you receive a message from Manu, it's not a spam. We are doing user testing. It's a valid message. So don't be afraid. And if you want to do part of user testing, just send him a message. He will be more than happy to assist you. And then finally, we have orientation calls every week. Everyone here, if someone is new and have a question after this call and don't know where to ask, we have created this schedule during the week so you can jump into any of these calls, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Feel free to interact. Feel free to be shy, be vulnerable, whatever you want to feel. Just jump ahead in the calls or share it or text us if you are too shy, and then we'll be there for you. So thank you so much, everyone, for making this week a great Comunitas week. And with that, I will pass it on to Labs.
I can take it for Labs. There are so many things going on. If you want to learn data science, you want to dive in, you want to get your feet wet and be part of this new field. Oh, it's so nice. It's not raining so hard, huh? But there's so many cool events. Every week on Fridays, we're doing the rewards system. How do we quantify praise? How do we build this thing? How do we design it? Well, we'll just toss it to the data scientists and see what they come up with. That's on Fridays at 9 a.m. West Coast time, 6 p.m. Europe time. And then we have the Praise Evolution Task Force. This is on Thursdays. This is more on the development side of it. So that's super cool. That's at 7 a.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. in Europe. And then we have this DAO to DAO models workshop working on the proposal inverter. This is on Wednesdays at the same time as the TEC labs, 9 a.m. West Coast time, 6 p.m. Europe time. Token Spice development. Token Spice is a really cool simulation software, kind of like CAD-CAD, but CAD-CAD is more general purpose. Token Spice is specifically for token economies. So it's a super cool thing if you want to get kickstarted into that. That's working with the TE Academy and the Ocean crew. This is on Mondays in the morning, West Coast time, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. for Europe. And then Block Science open office hours if you want to learn more about CAD-CAD, you want to get into waxing philosophically with Michael Zargum, which is always a good time. You want to jump into the office hours on Thursday at 9 a.m. West Coast time. And then, of course, if you want to wax philosophically with YGG, you want to be hanging out in the long tail finance open office hours, which are on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon on West Coast time. And definitely consider joining the LTF Discord, major allies with the TEC. So that's the labs updates, and I'll pass it over to Comms. Chewy, take it away.
Thank you, Griff. At the Communications Working Group, we meet every Tuesday. Right now, we're working in a lot of creative onboarding. So if you are creative, please DM us. We're going to have a bunch of stuff to do in the next months. This next call on Tuesday, we're going to have David's Analytics Corner, which has been providing us with a lot of insight in who's interacting with us in our social media, who is engaging, and how we can speak better to these communities. We're also putting together the team, the Token Engineering Amplify Messengers. This is still a working title, but it's getting there. We're starting to like it a lot. So we're going to be putting out some bounties and some project management. So this is also related to the creative onboarding. So if you're a creative, please come forward. And the Social Fridays are going to be coming soon, which is going to be a brief campaign by Metagame, OneHive, and the TEC, where we're going to be promoting our open and safe spaces for newcomers and people to integrate in a more social manner and less talk about work. So yes, this is what we're working on in comms, and I'll pass it back to you, Griff, in Params.
Yeah, so, oh man, I'm so glad we have so much time. This is so great. There's been so much work in the Params crew. It's been an effort for the last several months to get this dashboard out. Huge teamwork. There is especially, I want to especially call out the work that Mount Manu has done on user testing. But there's one thing that we really need help on, and that's validating that this learning module makes any sense at all. We have these basically blog posts that describe the different modules within that we will use to collaboratively design our economy. And do they make sense? Like, they make sense to me, but and Mitch, and we've been in the thick of it the whole time, so we're probably blind because we understand what's going on. It'd be so great if anyone is willing to just read through this and make a comment and say, this doesn't make any sense. Because what we want to do is we want to read this and make it playable in the module and actually record it for voice, but we can't do that until we validate that it's even coherent. So please help us out there. There's a link in the Params channel. In fact, there's a bunch of awesome links in the Params channel. So please consider clicking those links and checking it out. But the big announcement is that Vitor and Fabio and Pedro and Nugget have buckled down, and they got the Params dashboard to be the Commons config dashboard to be ready for our first Param party. So we're going to beta test it tomorrow. If you guys are down, come at 1 p.m. LA time. It's on the TEC calendar, and if you don't have the TEC calendar, you might want to find these slides and click this link, because it has so many events on it that you won't be bored anymore. There's a lot of work. There's a lot going on in the TEC. So and this will be a fun one that you don't want to miss. It'll be the first time that anyone gets to config the dashboard, and I'll let Vitor. Yeah, there's Vitor. Vitor, if you want to give them a demo of what they can be playing with tomorrow, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Yeah, like the link for the dashboard is in the Params channel, but then I'll share my screen and show off. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see? Okay, awesome. Yeah, what we changed is that we finished a few things in integration. So now you can select your parameters and create your issue. There are a few things that we're just finishing today. So there are a few specific cases where there are little problems, but we're just finishing them. So basically here, let me go back to the first one, just to introduction. So here you have the initial part, and then you can go through the whole intro learning section, which I will not, because I already passed through this for a lot of time. So let's finish learning, and then let's go to the configuration. And here you can play with the parameters. There's one little bug that Mount Manu found, that if you add 0 here, it breaks, but Pedro is already addressing this. So you can select your opening price, token free, token tell, and you can see the scenarios here, and then the chart. So if you change 10, it would change the value here, etc. So then you can also do it with the bonding curve. So now we have a differentiation for when you're bullish and when you're bearish. So bearish gets red, and then you can add stats, etc. here. So let's go with bullish now. And then you can see the reserve ratio, and you can add a new stat, for example, buy 1000 wrap text die. And yeah, so then, yeah, it keeps adding steps. So then, and you can see your steps. And then you can also play with the tau voting. So select the different support required, minimum power, vote duration, and etc. And then here you can also check out the disputable voting, what's the period, if we have 1 or 2 extensions. And finally, you can do the conviction voting as well. So here, for example, you can add, you have on the y-axis the percentage of this effective supply voting this proposal, and then it's the percent, how much of the commons pool we're requesting. So you can limit for having only 10% of the spending of the funding pool, etc. So, and here how fast it will grow, you can grow faster or slower. And then after you select all of these parameters, you can click on submit proposal. And then here you can add, we'll have more advanced parameters here, but not for the Friday call. And here you can change one or other parameter that you want to change. So if I want to change my spending limit, I want to change it for like 15, for example, or something like that. And here you can add descriptions for a strategy. So now I'll just click here. I'll just add tasks for all of them, but you can like express like what is your strategy for the token lockup, to the ABC, to the tau voting, etc. So and for disputable voting, and then here you can add submission titles. So like task community call. And then here I can add my overall strategy as well. We'll just keep tasks. But then after you select everything, add your comments, etc., you click and submit proposal. And then it's going to do the magic, submit the proposal. And then after that, you can click to see your proposal. And then when you look at it, it's loading. And then here it is, task community call. And you have all of our parameters here. Like you can see that I set token freeze to 10, token tau to 100, and so on. And I added like that strategy. The image is not implemented yet, but we're working on that. But all the other like output here are correct. So the comments tribute, the entry exit tribute, and all the tables they're outputting, and as well the tau voting, and then the conviction voting as well. So here you can see the outputs, and then you can see here at the end like a summary of all of your parameters. So at the end, when we do the voting, we can select the parameters that we have. So that will be the flow. And so tomorrow you can go there, like select your parameters, and then you have you can see all the issues. Right now we're using this task issues config dashboard, and you have like 100 issues just for testing. But then we can create a new repository for just a param party, so then you can see issues that are like real. And the nice point is that all these hundreds were created with the dashboard. And yeah, I think that's it. Not sure if anyone has any doubts.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vitor. That's awesome. We can finally start actually collaboratively designing our economy, and I'm so stoked. This will be a momentous moment. So really excited to have everyone jump in tomorrow if you can, and we'll have some fun designing economies tomorrow. There isn't much to update from the Common Swarm, so I'm just going to pass it straight to the TE Spotlight and give it to Pete to tell us about Mymeta and MetaLibrary.
Hello, thank you. All right, let me share my screen. There we go. Yeah, so we have these Mymeta profiles, which are meant to be like interoperable Web3 profiles. They're based on IDX and Ceramic. So you can see these, there are these like player cards. There's this basic filtering, this by season, because like in metagame we played by seasons. So we just started a new season for fall. Like player types, skills, things like that. But here you see like opening a profile. And then here you have things like the basic description. You have links to their Twitter, their Bright ID, GitHub account. You have like their time zone and time availability. You have their DAO memberships, their skills, their NFTs gallery, and yeah, this is the live version. And these are all like the basic pieces. But the idea is to make these profiles really like as modular as possible, so people should be able to add their own blocks and different modules for whatever else they want to display on these profiles. For a second about these DAO memberships, right now these are just DAO House DAO memberships, but we also the new version supports Discord servers, because we realized okay, not all DAOs or not all projects have a DAO, specifically a DAO House DAO, and DAO House DAO is the only framework that even offers any even has any notion of a membership. So the new version actually has guilds based on Discord servers, and then you can like here it is, like these will need to be updated, but you can see that right now there's almost nothing inside, but this should be connected to the Discord server, and then it pulls information of like who are the members and what are different stats, things like that, like what quests they offer. And then whoever has the admin right on the Discord server is the same people who then are able to edit this page as well. But the idea with the profiles themselves is to really not just have them not just through our interface, but so that like people are also using profiles that are based on Ceramic and IDX, so that all these different DAOs can have profiles that are actually interoperable, and really want to make this like not just a part of metagame, but have it as a product of its own. Like, I mean, it's an open source project that other DAOs can use for their own member directories to like be for people to be able to see who the people in the project are, like who they could collaborate on, things like that. And then like the next version, for example, we have a collaborate button, which will, the first option there will be to just set up like an escrow contract between two people, so you can like do business direct through the profile if you want that. But as I said, the idea is really to get other communities to use it and other people to build their own different modules and things that they want to add to these profiles. This is like touch-up design, but it's you see it's pretty much the same, and it's not even a finished design, but it's quite similar. And that's it from the Mymeta profiles. Like if this sounds like something that would be useful for the Token Engineering Commons community, let's follow up and set up a call with the builders and see what could be done, like if it's possible for you to use it. Also, in terms of guilds, like you've seen that we have the Token Engineering is already one of the guilds, and the Commons Tech is already one of the guilds, so I think it's about time that the Token Engineering Commons also officially joins metagame, and we already had a lot of people members, and we had the calls together a bunch of times. You've been on our community calls, we've been to yours. Maybe it's time.
Nice, Pete. So if someone wants to make a profile, how would they do that?
Yeah, they just go to my.metagame.wtf, they connect a wallet, and just create a profile. And the profiles are, anyone can create a profile. You don't have to like be a player of metagame to make a profile.
So what I could really imagine well is basically come up with how we could configure this, if you will, or set it up so that all of the different disciplines that we want to bring together, or basically people are bringing together in token engineering, that can be seen, but also all of the different activities that have created so much knowledge synthesizing already in Token Engineering Commons. Mostly I think of the Graviton group, right? With so many courses that people shared and so on. I think having them visible, like who are the Gravitons in Token Engineering Commons and so on. I'd love to see that definitely. But does it mean that we would need to probably also look at what it is that we can show on those profiles as token engineers or token engineering common stewards and so on and so forth?
Right. Yes. And right now, like all the profiles are completely public. There's no way to like have anything in private. We need to see like what are the other things that other communities need to get built, and like like maybe separation. Like right now we only have the NFTs gallery, but there should probably be like a difference between like art NFTs and like skill attestation NFTs.
That would be interesting.
You just select what skills you got, but they're not really like, they're not a proof of anything. And metagame use source cred, so this XP score is based on source cred. but like in here, maybe using the praises and then you could like display how many praises somebody received.
Thank you so much, Pete. This was super cool. I would definitely encourage anybody who's interested to go make a profile and become a player in metagame. They have a lot more going on than just these this Mymeta. It's a very aligned community that really sees the opportunity to turn economies into games and points that make the world a better place and really can fund public goods. I really recommend checking out their intro blog post that Pete wrote, and it's very inspiring, and I think you'll all understand how aligned metagame really is with all of our missions. So thank you so much, Pete, for joining in, and I want